In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the alternator on this Cadillac Escalade. Let's get into it. I'm going to disconnect the negative terminal on the battery, use a 10mm socket or a wrench, loosen up the terminal, and slide that off, out of the way. Remove the engine cover, just grab underneath, lift it up, and slide it out. On the side, there's a hose right here. You just want to pull that out. Using a 8mm socket, we're going to loosen up the band clamp right here, over here. Before we take that off, underneath here, there's a retainer holding the hoses. Just use a trim tool, just pop that off. Slide the snorkel off. In the back, we're just going to lift up, and slide it out, and it comes right out. We're going to take the belt off. Use a 15mm wrench, or you can use a serpentine belt tool. Just take the tension off the tensioner, slide the belt off. You can loosen up the tensioner. Just slide the belt off. Disconnect the connector on top, just push down on the tab and slide it out. Then the positive lead, we're going to pull this boot back. We'll take that nut off. Using a 10mm wrench, pop the nut off. Take the lead off, set it aside. Take these two bolts out, use a 15mm socket. Slide those out. Using a pry bar, just get underneath here, just pry up on the alternator. Just be careful. You don't want to break any of the tabs. Just grab the alternator, slide it off. There's this bracket right here with these two sleeves in it. We want those sleeves to go closer to the front, give us a little more room to get the alternator in. What you can do is take a socket and a bolt and put a nut on the other side so that as we tighten the nut down, it's going to pull the sleeve into the socket. You don't have to do this too much, just a couple turns. Total probably about one turn. And we'll do the same on the other one. Just going to pull it out just a little bit. I just pulled it out just slightly. Take the alternator, and it should just slide in place. Like that. It's easier than how it came out because we moved those sleeves out. Take the two bolts, get those started. Tighten those down, and we'll torque these to 37 foot-pounds. And on the back, put that lead on, get the nut started. Torque that nut to 80 inch-pounds. That's good. Take the boot. Just slide the boot down and cover that up. Plug the connector in. Take the belt. We're going to go over the alternator pulley down to the power steering pump. Then it's going to come up over the water pump. And we'll go down to the crank pulley. And over to the tensioner. That should sit there pretty good. Then we're going to hold the belt because we have to get under the idler. Take your wrench or tensioner tool, take the tension off the tensioner, and just slide it under the idler pulley. And then double check all the pulleys, make sure it's going around. That looks good. And put the snorkel on, get this lined up, go over the throttle body, slide that on. Push that in place. Slide it onto the airbox. Oops. Snug these down. Attach the hose, make sure it's seated. We secure the retainer under here. Put the cover on, slide that in place, and just push it down. Now take the negative lead, slide it over the battery. Tighten that down. Snug. Give it a wiggle, make sure it's not loose. It's good.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.